Okay. FC775. Y'all voting for Stacey? Hell no. Hell no. When she loses on November 8th, this gonna be me.
I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun.
Okay, we have Thurman. Hello, Thurman. How are you?
How you doing, Stephen?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So you said that I didn't do my homework on Trump. Please elaborate.
Okay. Do you know about any business that Trump started that are still working businesses?
Yes, sir. You mean like Trump Tower and all that? Yes, sir.
Yeah, the casino businesses, the airline.
Yeah, they went down. Yes, like most of Atlantic City.
They all
Yes.
did. And your comment
like Atlantic
was,
City. Yes.
Yeah, Atlantic City did. I worked in the
Yes, sir.
area in the transportation business that at that time he was the owner, and he actually destroyed that city.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. But you said what had Republicans done in the last 4 years, and 2 of those were Trump's presidency. So please educate us on what he did not do for Black people.
Anything that Trump does is definitely for Trump only. So if you think that because he signed any deals to help schools or Black communities, it didn't happen.
Like,
that's one right there. For schools, period. Okay.
schools. Okay.
Trump is in the business of making money. No, I'm sorry, in the business of taking money. Because even today, as he is asking for people to donate to him,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting an echo. That's why this thing is so bad right now.
You might have the. Well, I can hear you fine, so it's okay. We'll just deal with it.
Okay. Someone just made a comment that Trump gave up 4 years of salary. Trump never gives up anything. Did you know, like today, he,
Sorry, say that again.
Trump never gives up anything. Okay. This is not working for me.
Like I said, you can. Are you using your computer or your phone?
No, I'm on my computer.
Okay, so what you should do is right click the link, copy it, and then close the browser and come back in on a fresh browser.
Okay, how's this?
That's fine. I hear you perfectly on my side.
Okay. Okay, as I was saying, when Trump does something, Trump does it for him to get money. Why is any businessman that's supposed to be worth over $1 billion asking to send him money, his legal fees, for his legal fees?
Mm-hmm. He's a businessman. He can do whatever he wants.
That's not business. That's stealing. That's taking.
How is that steal? Donation's not stealing, sir, unless he went in your bank account. Unless he went in your bank, sir. Unless he went in your bank account and took the money, that's not stealing. A donation is not stealing. If he's asking the public to give him money, they give it to him. That's not theft. I can seriously ask everybody in here right now to hit my Cash App. Are they going to come back and tell me that I stole money from them? Now, if I use it for something nefarious, then yeah, they might have a point. But he's asking for his legal funds. They can choose not to do it. Now, what he does with that money, if he publicly makes it and it was not intended for what it was for, then yeah, then it's stealing. Because you got money under false pretenses.
So you're saying that the money that he asked people to donate or give him through their supposedly one-time donation, people were getting billed monthly through their cards.
Yes, I know companies that do that all the time.
Without knowing
I know companies that did. I've been a victim of that as well. Yes.
Oh, so you're a victim. Sure you read it. That means that was theft.
Yes, but I corrected it with my bank.
So I'm saying.
But I corrected it with my bank.
If asking,
but that might not be on him. Does he control that service?
He was taking money.
That's not the question I asked. Was he control of that service? Was he control of the service that processed the payments?
I don't know if he was a process of them.
Usually they're not. Service. Usually it's third party.
Okay, so, but at the same time, if it's a recurring charge, who controls that?
That's between
without someone knowing
the company that processed the payment, not Trump.
Okay, that means then that some way it had to be set up in a different way for it to be charged to that account.
No, companies set that up. I know some companies that set that up like that.
And and then what happens? They have to turn around, which he did. He turned around, gave back that money also, thousands of dollars. Some people were getting. He had to give it back, just like his charity.
So he gave it back.
Just like no, but when you're doing it one way, the way he was doing it, such as with Trump University. Did you know that he gave back over thousands of dollars to the so-called students of Trump University before he became president? Prior to that, he was not giving it back. The only reason why he gave it is because he was running for president.
Correct. You're still not. I think we're getting off on a tangent here. You still said that Republicans haven't done anything for 4 years. Sir, I'm going by what you said. Hang on. I'm going by what you said in the chat. You said Republicans have not done anything for Black America in 4 years. And I said 2 of those years Trump was in office. So I want you to explain what he did not do for Trump. Sir, would you like me to pull up your comment? That's what I just said, sir. That's exactly what I just said. You said Republicans did not do anything for Black folks. That's what you said in the chat.
Republicans did not do. That's not what I said.
And I said 2 of those years Trump was in office. What did he not do?
I said
because he has to sign that bill. He has to sign that bill. What did he not do for Black people? I'm pulling it up. Hang on one second.
Okay.
I'm finding it. Hang on one second. Let's see. Where is that comment? Trying to find your initial comment. Here we go. You said, what have the Republicans delivered to the Black community in the last 4 years? They have taken more than they will ever give. And my question was the same thing. I repeated that. And I said, two of those years Trump was in office. So what have they not done? Maybe I missed something. Please tell us what he did, what the Republicans did not do.
They have not looked out for. I'm not saying that Democrats are right in everything.
I'm keeping it on the Republicans. I'm keeping it on the Republicans because I already know.
Republicans.
Here's. Let me just give you a little. Hang on. I'm gonna let you finish. All I'm gonna say is people that are in this chat that usually watch my live streams, they know how the Democrats roll. We don't celebrate Democrats over here. We already know they're not for us. But a lot of times we don't talk about the Republicans because we just figure we've been taught that the Republicans do not do anything for Black folks. They don't even want to talk to us. So you said that they did not do anything. So let's educate the folk on what the Republicans have not done in 4 years. Because again, a lot of people do not follow politics like that. So please go ahead.
There are a lot of bills that were submitted to Congress that would help Blacks, period, that were not delivered because they were not voted on by the Republicans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Who controlled the House and Senate in the last 2 years?
That's the last 2 years. I said the last 4 years.
Okay. Who controlled the House and Senate the last 4 years?
That was the Republicans.
No, it was not, sir. It was the Democrats. The Democrats took back control in 2018, led by the Squad.
In the Senate, that was the House.
Both houses, sir. Both houses, sir.
I don't know what's that one at. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. 2018. Yes, sir. The Senate was... No, you're right. The Senate was a slim majority to the Republicans until 2020.
Exactly.
So for the last 2 years, the Democrats have been running all the bills.
Right. And I said, well, if there are bills now, the rescue plan is put into effect, right?
The rescue plan. Do you want to talk about the rescue plan? Okay. Please, go ahead.
Talk about it. I'm just asking a question.
Mm-hmm. Rescue plan is a Democrat bill,
into effect,
please.
Which means now that where people are getting more for what they didn't get prior now, right?
Like what?
Health care benefits are better. Well, hopefully they'll be better, right? Infrastructure should be better.
Benefits? How is healthcare going to be better?
When you're a senior, you say that because the new cap on medicines will not benefit seniors.
The cap on medicine? How does that help when Medicare is going to be the way that the Democrats positioned it? How's that going to help them when their primary care insurance kicks them off? Because you can go and look up those articles of seniors saying that they can't afford both insurances, so they have to kick off the other one. And they already know Medicaid and Medicare are not as good as their regular insurance. So they're about to run into a wall.
What's going to happen
when they're going to run into a wall next year?
When the Republicans come back into power, what is their first agenda? What is the agenda for them as to end
close the border?
Security?
It's to close the border.
The border has been an issue for years, and it's not going to end with them. If it was going to end with the Republicans, it would have been so years ago when they had all the power.
What did Trump run on, sir?
Securing the border.
Okay. And was he not in the process of securing the border? Was he not in the process of securing the border until he lost?
How do you secure the border when you take kids away from their parents and not
don't do that.
Return them?
Don't do that, because he was not the only one that did it. Don't do that.
No,
Obama started that. So if you're going to call Trump on that, you better call Obama out on that.
Obama did not take kids away from their parents.
Okay, if I prove you right, you put $10 on my Cash App right now.
No.
So will you admit that I'm right?
Because I'm not betting.
Because you can go look this up. Sir, you can look this up with me in real time. Obama was taking kids away from their parents way before Trump got into office. He's the one that built the cages that AOC sat there and fake cried about. Would you like me to pull it up?
That would be up to you.
No, I'm asking you. Would you like me to pull it up?
I knew that Obama did some things that weren't right. Like I said before, the Democrats were not the perfect party. Never, none of them are, and none of them will ever be.
Mm-hmm. You mean like killing Omar Gaddafi and starting slavery back in Africa? And all he could say was, "I'm sorry." Not send no troops over there to stop it. All he could say was, "I'm sorry." Mean like that? Mean like lying to, not once but twice, lying to the American people about him not selling guns to the cartels? So much so that after he got caught the second time, he threw Eric Holder under the bus. That Obama?
And what happened back
how he lied, how he was spying on the Associated Press and then tried to lie about it when he got caught? I cape for no politician over here. Trump has his faults, yes, and I've called out Trump many times on here. I say he should have pardoned Julian Assange. He didn't do it. He should have went harder with his platinum plan. He shouldn't have waited till 6 weeks before the election to say something about it. Trump has his faults, but I'm not going to sit up here and act like for the last 2 years of his presidency, he didn't do nothing for black folks. Record wealth, record black businesses being made. Our kids were not trafficked through Operation Talent, which gave me the reason why I should have voted for him. My wife and I were about to buy a house before all this stuff went down. Now I'm going to criticize him on the jab. He shouldn't have been the face of that. And if he does run again, he's going to get killed on that. They're already starting blaming him for that. But we're not going to sit up here and lie and say he was putting kids in cages and separating kids when the previous administration was doing it first. He was just continuing the process.
I did not say that Obama didn't do it. I did not.
You brought up Trump, and I said Obama did the same thing. Let's not do that. And when I told you I would pull it up, you weren't saying, "Hey, show it to me."
I didn't have to say show it to me because I know it was done. You're right, it was done.
So why are you bringing up Trump if you're not going to bring up the previous administration doing the same thing?
And I did prior to that many of the other administrations did the same thing.
Okay.
We're
getting off track. What else did
no one else do? Is correct, and when they do it.
Okay, what else did the Republicans not do?
With all the stuff that you're saying that they did, a lot of this stuff started with, the economic boom. That didn't start with Trump, with the last administration. Correct? Am I correct on that?
Whose budget was in place? Whose budget was in place?
That was Trump's budget at the time, but where did it start?
Started in 2018, sir.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
The economic rise started back with Obama because many of the financial companies were about to go under. Mm-hmm. If he didn't put out, what was it, like $700 billion to start saving banks?
You're talking about the bailout? Yeah, that he said he wasn't going to do, then ended up doing that bailout. I think you need to go study that bailout and realize that was not a good deal for American people.
Did it start there? Did it start there? Because a lot of banks didn't fold. You're saying that if you're saying that they did, they didn't.
I can't put that on him. I got to put that on them banks for putting out them loans. Them subprime loans, telling people that had shitty credit. No, those banks were telling people with shitty credit, I'll give you a house, no money down. And then realized that they were going to lose record profit. So they said, nah, we got to come back and restructure it. And then made them same people who couldn't afford that house start paying for that house. Then you ended up in a situation where you had foreclosure up the ass, which is what we're about to be hit with next year. Because all these people that got all these houses for a song or they're overpaying for it, cannot afford it because inflation is still going up. So you're going to see record foreclosures again. I'm down here in Georgia. I see for sale signs all the time. People are trying to get out now.
And that's not the only time it happened, and it's not the only time it's going to happen. It's correct. A recycle. It's a recycle of like back in the day. You have a fashion of this year, this 10 years, and the next 10 years is different. And then all of a sudden, everything that was old is new again.
Correct. Okay. Again, what else did Republicans not do for black people?
If you think that, let's see.
Because say what you want about Trump, unemployment rate was the lowest for black folks in history.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
He had to make sure the Republicans and Democrats were on board with that, correct? With his initiatives. They had to vote on that, right? When he presented those bills and those executive orders, they had to agree with it, correct?
That's true. But then the financial gap between
signal again. God damn it. Thurman, are you there?
Between whites and blacks were also not gaining power there with a lot.
That's not on the president, sir.
Going under.
That's on Congress. That's on all three branches. I can't put that on one person. That's decades of legislation against black people. I can't put that on that man. Now, if you want to say he didn't do anything to try to help it, we can have that argument. But I'm not going to sit up here and put all that on Trump.
That's where I'm going with that. I'm not saying that it was just not on the three branches. He didn't help.
What did you like him to do?
I would for him not have been in office.
So you just don't like him because you don't like him?
No, it's not that I don't like him. I don't like his business tactics.
I was in the same boat as you, brother. I was in the same boat as you when he got in.
I've seen his destruction of businesses.
I feel you.
I've seen his destruction of business.
Brother Thurman, and I was in the same boat as you in 2016. I did not trust that man. I thought he was just going to give his buddies bailouts and just mess the system up. And I thought he was going to have his finger on the nuclear button. You're right. I was in the same boat as you. And I said, after he got in, I'm going to watch him for 2 years. In 2018, that was his first full year. It was his budget. Let's see what he does. And I got to admit, the man did enough to convince people that he was for this country. I have to give him his props on that. He was talking about closing that border. He was talking about closing the border. He was talking about putting money back in Americans' pockets and making sure that these liberal agendas do not go out of hand. I had to give the brother his props. And when he did Operation Talent and they saved all them black kids down here in Georgia, I said, I got to vote for that man. And you saw what happened when he lost. Everything is now ramped up to hell. But if you don't like that man, that's fine.
No, I said I don't
like his business tactics.
I do his business tactics.
Well, his business tactics got hundreds of billions of dollars of our intellectual property back, which I'm sure Biden probably sold off already. By the way, did you know that Biden ended his funding for HBCUs?
No, I haven't kept up with this.
Yes, sir. He did that within his first 100 days. He ended Trump's permanent funding.
So he
ended Operation Talon in March of 2021. He let it lapse. ICE asked him, "Are you going to restart it?" He said no. And now we see the cartels doing what they do. You're seeing what he's doing with the oil over in Saudi Arabia. They had to call him out because he tried to hide the fact that he has to raise gas prices in an election season.
And I agree with that. He should have been called.
You want the gas up?
No, I'm saying no. I said he should have been called out because he should not have gone there, period. Saudi Arabia is one of the worst countries that you can ever deal with.
Correct. But we were energy independent under the last administration.
But we don't have to be. Out of all these years, all the years that we've had the technology, if this is the technological country of the world, we should not depend on any other country when it comes to having our own.
I feel you on that, but the technology is not there. That's what the liberals like to tell you.
It just has not been expounded.
It's not there, sir. It's not sustainable. The electric vehicles are not sustainable, sir. How is the battery costing more than the entire car? And the battery cannot be broken down. It takes 99 years for it to be broken down.
Okay. Like I said, businesses do what they do best. They hold back on things until they can see they can start making more money. Who in the world can afford, really, in Georgia, a Tesla?
Do you know how many people down here drive Teslas?
And do they live in a trailer or do they live in homes?
Sir, do you live in Georgia? Home. Wait, do you live in Georgia?
No, I don't.
Okay, I live in Georgia. Do you know how many Teslas are out here? And they live in nice condos and nice complexes and nice mansion style houses out in Alpharetta and Hiram and Monroe and
so
Rome.
If you can put a percentage on it, how many would you consider?
I see maybe in this city, maybe 30%, because they get tax 30%. Rebates for having an electric vehicle down here.
30% on the cost of the vehicle.
No, 30% Tesla is driving around Atlanta right now because they get tax rebates. When you go to Kroger, you can go charge your car. They're incentivizing businesses to put electric vehicle charging stations in front of their businesses.
Are you in Atlanta?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I haven't been to Atlanta in years. I know the city.
Yes, sir. I've been down here for a year and a half. Okay, I see more California fleets coming over here with Teslas than anything else.
Well, I can see a lot of people from LA coming there. I used to live in LA.
That's what I've been warning. That's what I've been warning my channel about for the last 3 months. They're trying to turn Atlanta into LA East.
And it's been doing that. With the help of
Google just threw 400 people out of their homes so they could build a building in Midtown.
And I've seen other companies do the same thing.
That's why I'm trying to teach the family, you need to vote for an agenda that is going to be black first. Because if this is supposed to be the mecca of black excellence, you cannot have it turn into something else that is not black excellence. And Stacey Abrams and the Democrats are actively trying to turn this into an AAPI safe haven, along with the illegal immigration. And I don't like Kemp, but at least he's trying to stop it. He's not for illegal immigration. At least I can rock with him on that. And that's why I voted for Trump, because he's against illegal immigration.
Here's what I see and hear a lot about illegal immigration. These people are coming here, and they're like a lot of people saying that these people are coming at taking our jobs. I didn't see anybody across that border or hear of anybody that crossed that border that has, to the hospitals or doctor's offices that I go to, and I'm in the South, come in and replaced anyone there in the years that I've lived here.
What do you mean replaced?
I can see them. I see a lot of them come over, and they're out working out in the fields, and I see them doing a lot of grass cutting. I see them doing a lot of construction.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Because there's a lot of people that will not do that type of work.
That's what they want you to think.
A lot of Americans will not do that. People in this country will not
no
do
offense,
that
brother, but they got you with that talking point. That's not the reason why. They hired them for cheap labor. They'll work cheaper because they want the job so they could stay here.
Of course,
so they can fulfill their visa. Right. They're not going to want to they're not going to want to hire us at $16.50 to do that job correctly. They'll hire them at $10.50 where basically you see where the fast food places are to do that job and save $6 per hour per worker.
And we're on agreement with that. And you're saying it one way and I'm saying it another way.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. We're on agreement with that. But they're not taking anybody's job. They're doing jobs that people in this country do not want to do.
Sir, I've hired people down here. They would rather take the Latino.
Of course they would.
I know people that hire people in this city and the surrounding areas. They would look at the Latino first, even if the black person has the qualifications. I've seen it. They're trying to supplant black folks in this country. They're not putting the illegal immigrants in Georgia. They're not putting them where the white folk are. They're putting them in Fairburn. They're bringing them to Gwinnett. They're bringing them to Decatur. They're not putting them in Midtown because they know Midtown would say something. They're not bringing them to Ansley Park because they know them white folk up there would say something. They damn sure ain't dropping them off in Buckhead because no matter who's up there, white, black, Asian, whatever, all of them would be spitting mad, going down to City Hall, yelling at them, which is why they've been talking about separating from Atlanta and becoming their own incorporated city.
I'm not familiar with any of the with Georgia, period.
Where in the South are you? Where in the South are you?
I'm in South Carolina.
Okay, you're in South Carolina. I would ask for you to jump on I-20 one day when you have like a week off or something. Jump on I-20 and ride past Alabama and Mississippi, and I guarantee you'll see nothing but Mexican restaurants along that line. They're trying to get rid of black folks in the South because they know this is the last area where we can have a large political and economic base. They're already done it in Florida. They've run black folks out of Florida. South Carolina and Georgia are next. Because once those three states fall, everything else in the Southeast is going to fall.
I agree with you.
Right. That's what they want. Because they know anywhere else we go, we're going to have to either deal with them racist white boys or we're going to have to go deal with the politics like they had over in LA.
We've been dealing with them. We're still dealing with them. They're undercover.
But it's going to be worse because we don't have, but what I'm saying is it's going to be worse because then at that point we won't have anywhere else to go. At least we're in the South right now. We can come down here and say, okay, we can build something down here, which is black folks have been doing. And we're getting our political power up around here. That's why they're scared of people like Marcel Dixon over in South Carolina, because he went and challenged Clyburn, came in 6 months late and still took 4% of the vote away. Imagine if he had 4 years of prep. That's why they're putting all the bootleg politicians in the South now, like Stacey Abrams, like Aramis Ayala out in Florida. They want them to control this area and get all the illegals in here and get rid of black folks because they all want to talk about black and brown. We're off that.
You know, I'm sitting here and I just read a comment. Somebody said Trump was for America first. Wow. You know, that kind of comes from one of David Duke's sayings, America first.
And Trump stole MAGA from Ronald Reagan.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, when you say America first, think about where it comes from and what they're trying to do with it.
Well, if he's for white supremacy first, I mean, at least he's overt with it. At least he's overt with it. I'd rather my white supremacists be overt than covert like Biden. I'd rather Trump tell me "fuck you" to my face.
Well, he's definitely doing that now.
I mean, he told Kanye "fuck you" today, so I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
but here's the thing with Trump: we expected that.
Yeah, he's a very selfish person.
Correct, very and selfish. You don't see black folks. You can go anywhere. Black folks don't get upset about what Trump says. We just say, "Oh, it took him this long to say it." The problem we have with Biden, sir, is Biden actively sat there for 8 months acting like he was for black folks and snowed all the black folks. Most of them, I should say. I shouldn't say all. He snowed most black folks. Now he's been in office for 2 years. He has not produced. I ask black folks all the time that voted for him, come outside and explain your man. They won't do it. Y'all who did not like Trump, y'all made him and MAGA come outside for 6 years trying to explain that man. Well, all they've asked was come outside and explain Biden and Harris. Y'all won't do it. I'm not saying you. I don't know if you voted for him, but I'm saying those voters, they will not come outside and defend him. And then they'll troll when he puts up something on his official Twitter page about something that he did, which you can easily fact check and find out it was a lie or exaggerated, but you can't tell them that. But if it was Trump, everybody would be fact checking him.
Well, I'm not on social media, period.
No, that's fine. But I'm just saying this is what goes on. MAGA had to answer for that man from the day he came off that escalator to the day till today. He had a day. Everybody had to answer for that man. People lost their family members over this man.
Yes, they did.
And people lost their family members over Biden and this jab.
Yes, they did.
So my point is,
I'm not defending.
We can't sit here as voters and say this one candidate is doing this, but this other candidate's not doing that. If it's not black first, as a black person, you don't vote for them because every other group is telling their people don't do that. If Stacey and them are running to other groups, telling them what they're going to do tangibly with layouts, with spreadsheets, you cannot go to them Jews and not have a plan ready. They will laugh you out the building and tell you don't come back until you have one. But Stacey can put up rappers and all these celebrities putting up stuff on their social media telling them to go vote for him. And then when she goes on these debate stages, she can't articulate what she's going to do for black folks except fund the police. How does that help us? When you're killing Kemp for sending black men to jail already with the cops that they have on there, including the Georgia State Patrol that's running around Atlanta, who shouldn't even be in Atlanta or the metro area.
Well, I agree. No state police should be in a local area.
But I've been down here almost 2 years and never got pulled over. I've been pulled over maybe 3 times. Whereas when I was in New York, I would get pulled over like every other week. Stop and frisk every other week. That's one thing I'll give Kemp. He hasn't done stop and frisk. Thank God.
Well, stop and frisk was started by Giuliani.
Yeah. And Eric Adams, a Democrat, and a Republican. I'm Democrat. Eric Adams, who is mayor of New York now, who was a former cop, brought it right back and told people on the debate stage he was going to bring it back 7 times, and they still voted for him. Crime is out of control in New York.
I agree with you on that. That was something that should not have been said. Period.
But that's WS for you. That's why I said before, I would rather my white supremacists be overt than covert.
I see it every day.
Trump did what he did for 4 years. My crowd will tell you, I barely bring up Trump. I'm not going to sit on revisionist history until somebody says that he didn't do nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, explain this. Explain how CNN said he was good for black folks. Explain how USA Today fact checked him and said he was right.
I still don't see it. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying you can go online and look this stuff up. They hate that man so much, but they love that man. Like when we were talking about Obama with the cages, I mean, it's there. They sat there and told him that he can't lie out of that.
No, he can't. No, he can't.
Right.
And
but I'm saying,
you're right. He did do that. He did.
I'm saying,
that. But I'm saying,
now you might get mad at me for saying this, but Trump did more than Obama did for black folks. We lost money under Obama. We lost our footing. We lost our political base under that man. Because we went with symbolism instead of tangibles. We got burned and we learned, and this is never going to happen again. So in reality, we really should be thanking Obama. Because Obama woke up a sleeping giant. He woke up black folks who don't, up until that point, did not worry about politics until it came to vote. Now we talk about politics every day. And you can tell how clueless the Democrats are because they're sending him down here next Friday to try to stump for Stacey and Warnock. It's not going to work.
Well, I already knew that Stacey's not going to win. Kemper's going to win. I already knew that. Even when she said that she was going to, the first time she ran, she would never win in the South.
No, because she comes off like a Northerner. She comes off like an elitist Northerner. She doesn't talk like the Southern people. And that was Warnock's problem on Friday. He didn't relate to the people. He came off like a Northerner. He came off like them Southern boys who go up. He came off like a Southern boy who went up north to get educated and came back down here and act like he don't know how pork necks taste anymore.
Say that again, please.
I said the problem with Warnock, he did the same thing Stacey did tonight. He acts like a Southerner who went up north to get educated and then came back home and act like he don't like pork neck bones anymore.
Oh.
Like instead of like it's he all about the champagne now. He forget he don't get down with moonshine. And that's one thing you can attest as a Southerner. You can't switch up down here.
No, actually,
if the South is in your soul, you got to play that 24/7, 365. And that's why Walker is going to win, because as much as stupid as he was sounding and how at times he was incoherent, he kept that Southern soul on him. And them white boys will vote for him because he keeps up the status quo.
I know that's what's going to happen. I understand that. Mm-hmm. But I'm from the North, too. I used to live in New York.
I'm sorry?
I said I used to live in New York, so I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm from New York, born and raised.
I used to live out in Queens.
I grew up in Queens, Hollis, Queens.
Oh, Jamaica.
Yes, sir. I was on 111th to 203rd. I was 8 blocks away from where LL Cool J's grandmama stayed.
Baisley and Bedell.
That's almost Rochdale Village. That's Rochdale Village.
Yeah, Rochdale Village, exactly.
Yes, sir.
That's where I'm from.
That's a Q85.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right across from the train station.
Yes, sir. LIRR. Locust Valley. Yes, Locust Valley.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to have to pack up somebody else, but I appreciate you talking to me. I appreciate this. This was good.
No problem. And I appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir. All right. You have a good evening. Stay safe out there.
You do the same thing.
Yes, sir.
All right. God bless you.
God bless you too.
And your followers.
Yes, sir.